Hello, welcome back to another Connective3 video. Today I'm joined by Vash and Trish from Google, and today we'll be talking about Google's AI solutions. To start with, Vash, Trish, can you just tell everyone who you are and your role at Google?
Perfect. Thanks, Will. Thanks for having us here. I'm Vash. I'm a growth manager at Google. I work with the UKI mid-market level, and I think from a day-to-day aspect, I try to bring in as much as value as I can to my advertisers and working in tandem with an agency as well. And for certain advertisers, like we have Will over here. So I've been at Google for 2 years now.
Cool.
Thank you.
Trish?
Thanks, Will. So I work as a product lead here in the EMEA market. My role kind of spans across, of course, working very closely with a product to, help get it to the market in the best way, but also working with our sales teams, our agency teams, and our clients to offer the best solution over to them as well. But yeah, really excited to be here.
Good, thank you. So let's get started. There's lots of talk at the moment about AI solutions, but what are some of the ones that people can use in the Google stack today?
So I feel like, firstly, thanks for the question. I think there's a lot of, when you think of the AI word, like it's become a buzzword now, but it generally has been around at like front and center of most products that Google has to offer, right? So when you start right at the beginning, even when you think of things like responsive search ads, commonly known as RSAs, right? That has AI in it because it's using a combination of like, texts and everything to get the best ad copy in front of the customer. Then of course there's smart bidding, auction time bidding. Now there's a lot of stuff which is, on the generative AI side as well. But I would say my top things as a performance consultant and a product person in Google would be start with like auction time bidding. That's one of the best things. Then there's a lot to do with broad match, and then you're combining a lot of like cross-channel inventory, which is through Performance Max, and then you keep expanding it further through the products of like demand gen and YouTube. So it's pretty much there everywhere, depending on what product you choose. It depends on what you want to do as a business and what you want to achieve with AI through the suites which are available. So
Great. So you mentioned lots there. Which ones would you say are going to give advertisers the best growth opportunity in today's complex market that we're dealing with?
I think if you have the right infrastructure in place, starting with AI when you're looking at like growth and performance. So for that, I would say smart bidding, auction time bidding. There's always having the right setup in terms of your keywords and everything, having a decent amount of like broad match in the mix, and then Performance Max, right? Everything to do with like growth really comes from there. So if you have that fundamental infrastructure in place, and then you can expand always further from there.
Yeah, I think like Vash, we've had some great success, haven't we, with Broad and PMax over the last few years working together.
100%. And I think initially, when you start something new, or when you're introduced to something new, it's always hard to accept and use that in your day-to-day. So I think when we started off as well in the past couple of years, there were a lot of questions around PMax. What is this new product? What does PMax do? What can it do? And in full honesty, we were also in the shadow to a certain extent, right? We didn't really know everything about it. So big kudos to you and the team as well to take it up as a challenge and actually test it out and be proactive about it, be pro what PMax and broad match is. Yeah. And we took that leap of faith, but we took that leap of faith in the right way, right? We made sure that we had the right ammunition, as Trish mentioned, the right infrastructure. We believed in that, tested it out, and I think 2 years hence from there, we've seen PMax and broad match are probably bringing the best results ever.
Yeah, so really good results with
exactly.
That.
Yep.
So lots of hesitation out there for broad and PMax. How would you say advertisers should get started with it?
I think firstly, when you're looking at, I get the hesitation, right? That's the first thing to acknowledge. It's something where you're adding stuff in, you're giving more control to what AI can do, right? By giving it a few signals. And I think the first and foremost thing is to have the right testing mindset when you're starting with anything like this, right? We usually, of course, have I think the testing best practices framework always stays the same, that it does take about 4 to 6 weeks for you to really see results. And I think once you have that testing framework established, how do you kind of follow track on it, right? So yes, it takes about 10 days or 2 weeks to learn. There needs to be 4 weeks of performance data. And then you give it some time to cool off with the conversion lag, and then you look at it, right? So the testing mindset and having the patience as well to be it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks. We just have to look at what campaigns we're looking at and then get on with it. So yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Where can you align your business objectives to each of these products? I think that's the other lens of looking at it. And that comes from an education piece, right? So you start off with the education piece, then it's a mindset change, and then you get into the technicality with the infrastructure piece. So I think it's never you just dive right into it. You take a phased approach to it.
Yeah. It's all about understanding the goal of each of those ones you mentioned. Broad is very different to demand gen, and demand gen PMax is very different.
It's where everything fits in, right? It's not there's a one solution to everything.
Absolutely.
Every challenge will have a different solution, and that's how you want to use these products.
Yeah. Great. It's changing every week. There's not a post that you don't see on social media of a new feature. So what is the one thing that you're most excited for?
I think, again, as to your point, very recently, PMax asset level reporting was launched. So I think I'm super excited for that, not only for myself, but for advertisers, for the agency, for everyone who's using Google Ads in simple terms, right? Because I think that kind of unlocks a few different points. One point is the optimization piece, because at that level of depth, you'll be able to assess each asset in terms of how they've performed, how each asset is shown to the audience, how your target audience is reacting to each asset. So you'll be able to see which asset is performing better. So that comes in under your optimization piece. Then you have the insights piece in terms of, okay, maybe asset group A caters to this type of audience, asset group B caters to this type of audience. So it will help with your segmentation as well, those kind of insights. I think the final piece, which has always been this stigma around PMax, where you don't have control because you're giving control to automation. I think this kind of let goes of that stigma a little bit, that okay, now you have some level of reporting. So I think that is one biggest launch that we're looking forward to. And then the other launch that has already happened now, but I'm super excited for, is asset generation. That now within your Google Ads interface, you can create your own imagery, you can create your own assets, name it videos. There's a feature with brand guidelines as well. So I think you need to encourage people to start leveraging this, because we know that one of the biggest challenges that advertisers are facing is creatives, right? The creation of creatives. Now, this is probably not the perfect solution, but it is still a step in the right direction. So I think these are probably my top 2 product features that I'm really excited about.
Great. I think creative now is so important. I think the asset level reporting is going to give so much more insights to everybody about what creative works, and it's going to open up a whole different testing mindset and opportunity to everybody.
Correct. Tell me this, right? From your point of view, the generative AI piece, the asset creation piece, what lens do you look at it from an agency point of view?
It's
how
speed.
impactful it is?
It's so helpful in terms of speed of asset creation. We are able to test new things much faster than ever before. You're able to take things that potential advertisers don't have access to and do it ourselves. So you can create a video in 10 minutes using the things that are there. You can create new assets, you can change the backgrounds. A product that might not be as exciteful, you can make it exciting. Just having that opportunity now is game changing.
100%. So that's why I said these 2, but if you all have any other products, please let us know.
No, I think those 2 for sure. But what really stands out to me here is that, as the product team and as Google, we're listening. So if there was an ask and a need for reporting and increased transparency, I think that comes through. Of course, getting some products and reportings to the market takes a bit of time, but I think we're always listening and we're trying to improve products in that way to get customers the best things that they can do for their business, right?
Yeah. I still remember the number of times Will has asked me for PMax level reporting. I'm like, Will, we do not have that feature.
It's amazing that people are asking.
Yes.
Google is giving, which I
Yes.
think is amazing. But it's the speed at which things come out. I think that's quite exciting. I'm like, there's something new every week, which is great.
True. I mean, like 2 years back when we started when we started working on PMax to where it is now,
Yeah.
there's been
yeah.
it's evolved like.
It's completely different.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, Vash and Tris, for your time. If you'd like to learn more about AI solutions in Google Ads, visit connective3.com. Thank you.
Thank you.